Have you ever felt like you were created for more? Like there was a bigger purpose waiting for you to step into? Welcome to A Dose of Belief, the podcast that fuels your faith, sharpens your mindset, and equips you to boldly live in your purpose. Each week, I'll bring powerful insights, set up dynamic interviews with high achievers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who turn belief into breakthrough. This isn't just motivation, it's your weekly reminder that you were made to make a difference. I'm your host, Christian Martinez, and you are listening to A Dose of Belief. Welcome back to this week's episode of A Dose of Belief. I'm excited to be with you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about understanding the importance of resilience, specifically the power of resilience through reflection. Now, resilience is often misunderstood as toughness or endurance, but real resilience is built through reflection, through slowing down enough to learn from your experience, to celebrate progress, no matter how small it may be, to extract lessons from pain, and to realign with your purpose. This is our 7th episode, and we want to break down 4 cinematic moments that reveal resilience that is not formed in chaos, but through clarity. Now, this episode is about developing that inner strength so that you can be unshakable, so that you can develop that unstoppable belief, and to have a small amount or a dose of belief. So we're going to bring you 4 videos today, and they're going to come from different movies. And I'm excited because I can say that these can be considered 4 pillars of resilience. The first clip that we're going to show you today is going to come from The Last Samurai. And this part of the episode just highlights the importance of journaling and reflecting. You know, today we're going to talk about the practice of daily reflection. Are you reflecting upon the things that you are doing, upon the things that you are seeing, how you are growing? And in here, he's writing down and he's observing what's going on around him. But growth doesn't just happen because time passes. Growth happens when you pause and examine yourself. Resilience is built in the quiet moments. When you slow down, when you process the information, when you truly evaluate your actions honestly, you'll see that resilience begins when you stop reacting and you start reflecting. You start looking at how the environment has shaped you, how things are happening, and then how you are responding to them. Your reflection tends to develop a different type of interaction to what you have received and perceived. So if you believe something is happening, you may respond a certain way. And so it's important that you reflect daily to see how you can get better, how you can respond better, and how you become the best version of yourself. The second thing that I want to talk to you about this week, the second point that I want to share with you is really a question. Are you celebrating progress no matter how small the wins? I know for me, I suffered from not celebrating progress. I was always looking for a big win. I didn't appreciate the small incremental progress, the small momentum that I was building every day. And this clip is going to come from the movie Martian. Now, this movie is the specific clip that we're going to show to you is where he's successfully growing potatoes. And really what it's about is understanding that he is as good as he believes that he is. He was brought on this mission for a specific reason, but resilience isn't just built through giant breakthroughs, it's built through small daily progress. And then all of a sudden, as he's farming and building and harvesting these potatoes, you know, he says that it's said that when you plant stuff that you've colonized an area, and what you're doing is you're colonizing Mars. He was on Mars, he was stranded there for about 3 years, and he had to survive. If he didn't celebrate the growing of the potatoes, being able to generate water, being able to survive, he could have lost his mind. And really, when you celebrate small wins, it helps you reinforce your belief. It helps you build confidence, and it helps you sustain momentum even in isolation. Now remember, he was stranded for 3 years in isolation, so he had to come up with a way to keep himself motivated, to keep himself to keep going, because at the end of the movie he admits that he did believe that he could have died out there, and that's a probable outcome. But what is going to sustain you when things get tough? What is going to sustain you when you feel like you're on your own? What is going to sustain you when it looks like there is no hope? Celebrating small wins can help you push through and get through in those tough times. Celebrating that potato before the rescue is what he did. And I challenge you, what is your potato? What do you need to celebrate today before you get to the top of where you want to be, before you get to the success that you're trying to accomplish? You know, I had the opportunity to speak recently on a summit, and it was about igniting the spark. And what I want you to think about is, what is that spark for you? Celebrating small wins can bring a tremendous spark that will keep you going when times get tough. Today's episode is brought to you by Leadership Legacy, our impact partner sponsor. Leadership Legacy exists to help organizations grow from the inside through leadership training, customer service development, and culture transformation. Their approach is interactive, immersive, and values-driven, creating experiences that don't just inspire, but actually stick. If you're serious about excellence and bringing the best out of your people, Leadership Legacy is a trusted partner. They equip leaders, empower teams, and enrich cultures. To find out more, you can check out the show notes or go to www.christianrmartinez.com/culture and get to know a little bit more about their business. Now, let's get back to the show. Now, the next clip that I want to share with you is going to come from our featured movie of the week. And the featured movie of the week is Batman Begins. And the specific lesson that I extracted from this is, what lessons are you extracting from your setbacks? And really what this clip is, where Alfred is sharing with Bruce, you know, he's fallen, he feels like he wants to give up, and he asks him, why do we fall? He pauses and he says, so that we can pick ourselves up. And really, to put that into perspective, failure is not your final verdict. Failure is a training ground. And failure is not final unless you let it be. Really, every time you fall, every time you have an obstacle, every time you have a setback, the goal is not to feel like you failed. The goal is to ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? Failure is not a verdict. It is training in progress. Every setback carries a lesson. What can you adjust? Where can you strengthen? What can you refine? All of these things can be extrapolated from a setback, from a failure, from an obstacle, from a redirect. And really, failure doesn't have to be final unless you let it be. You know, I remember at times when I was young, I would play basketball and we would lose to a team just to come back and have to face them in the playoffs or in a championship game. And then we would either beat that team or blow them out. And it was because we learned from our failure. We learned from our setback. Maybe we didn't give them as much credit as they needed. Maybe we, just underestimated their resilience. But I'll be honest with you, you need to ask yourself, what is it that this setback is teaching me? Because it's not going to stop me, but it's going to shape me. So, take that setback and understand how to let it shape you, how to let it mold you, how to let it inspire you, how to let it fire you up and keep you moving forward. And if you look at a setback as a way to get better, to get stronger, to become better, you can get to another level of excellence, another level of your journey. And I'll tell you that sometimes your greatest step is the foundation for your next level. And I want you to think about that. You have another level in you. You have another gear in you. But are you getting there if you're relying on the comfort that you're in right now? And so in that clip, that was our featured movie of the week, Batman Begins. And really the lesson from that was extracting lessons from your setback, understanding, what can I learn from this situation? How can I grow? How can I get better? Because I will tell you, every time you ask that question, you go deeper, you go higher, you go faster, you get stronger because you're trying to see how you can adapt and overcome. And I want to challenge you to do that. I want to challenge you to get better. Every step along the way is an opportunity for you to go higher. The last clip that we're going to show today comes from Braveheart. And really, this is about revisiting your purpose and your goals regularly. You know, in this clip, he's struggling because everybody is doubting what's about to happen. He's reminding them that he's the great warrior that they've been talking about. And he talks about all of these great accolades that they talk about. But he's like, listen, you can turn around right now and you can go home. And you may be free for a moment. Or you can fight for your freedom today, right now. Are you going to take a stand? And so as you watch this clip, it's all about revisiting your purpose. He's talking about understanding that when your purpose is clear, pressure loses power. When your purpose is clear, there is no setback. There is nothing that can hold you back. But you have to understand that sometimes you have to filter those distractions. You have to protect your energy. And you have to anchor your decisions based on where you're trying to go. When the purpose is clear, fear loses control. Now, I want you to understand that every day you have an opportunity to build your resilience. And it's not just about, pushing through and endurance, but it's really about understanding that patience and resilience is built through reflection. What am I learning? What did I see today? What small wins did I get? How is my purpose driving, motivating, and inspiring me to move forward today? As we wrap up, if today's episode sparked a dose of belief in you, don't let it stop there. Belief grows when it's shared and lived out. You can tune in weekly for conversations that strengthen your mindset, sharpen your leadership, and encourage you to keep moving forward. And if this episode encouraged you, consider sharing it with someone who could use a reminder to believe again. If you'd like to go a step further, you can also become an impact sponsor, helping us continue this work beyond the podcast. Through your support, we help feed the homeless, partner with schools to provide leadership training, and create opportunities that truly make an impact. And if you're ready to deepen your own belief, consider grabbing a copy of Unstoppable Belief, available at unstoppablebelief.com or on Amazon. Thank you for being a part of this community. Until next time, keep believing, keep growing, and keep moving forward.